Here we are.
Here we are indeed. And I do think this little poster here, which might be the same one that we saw previously that we were zooming in on when we learned that we lost our voice. I want to say it's based on a real poster that they used for something as well. Supergiant, the developers.
Unless you count him.
Correct. Hugh. Process 84%, disposition patient. Let's take a look.
Hi. Where'd everybody go? Well, we're gonna get you out of here. He says the process wiped him out.
The
He's
process.
too far gone.
Too far gone, you say?
They know we're here.
Uh-oh.
This lady again.
Ooh. New ×2 firepower on this young lady. More weaves, which I believe we've established, or at least heard reference to them being healers of sorts, and if we walk right up next to them, they can deal damage. We actually did walk through one, so we took a little bit of damage there. But thinking we're probably going weeds first, then cheerleader, and then young lady. And the young lady, I think, had a pretty significant amount of damage in its original form. Now, presumably, has a fair bit more damage. And it does teleport when we hit it once. And so we can't really perform combos on it all that easily. So I think that means we're gonna hop over here and try to set up a 2-for-1 like that. Then if we can hop elsewhere, do we need to hop to set this up? Something like that. And if we could take out the worm before the cheerleader comes out, that would be ideal. But oh, and that's going to take all of our juice and not quite destroy the cheerleader. I think we might need to settle for that, though.
She brought help.
Ooh, that she did. Okay. So here we see the cheerleader is currently shielding that weed, so it is protected, and therefore we cannot damage it. But we can get rid of the other worm, and a decent spot, it seems. Try to... Ooh, that's not where I wanted to go. I wanted to go further than that. Quite a bit further than that, in truth. Okay, it might take 2 jaunts to get here. 3 jaunts to get here? Maybe we don't... Yeah, that jaunt went much further for some reason. Let's try to hit both of these weeds. We can get 2-for-1 there. While we're right next to this cheerleader, we should definitely try to take it out as well. Ooh. Not quite enough firepower, though, I'm afraid. Hold on. No, not that. That. Still not enough, even without our little bit of movement. We might need to settle for that. Oh. 2-for-1. Ah, actually, hold on. What if we get rid of our big snipe there, use our increased AoE to take out both these guys, or hit both these guys once, and then we can focus more on this cheerleader. Not you. Okay, that theoretically is enough to take out the cheerleader. I'm not sure if it's actually going to amount to that. Like so. There we are. Okay. Now we do still have 1 cheerleader remaining, so let's dump you. Let's get rid of you. Did that miss? That did miss, didn't it? That theoretically is precisely enough to get rid of you. Makes me a little nervous, as sometimes we found we fall just shy if we try to go that route. Trying to see if we can get a shot to get both of you weeds simultaneously, but I think that would require another jaunt. Do that. And then, it's going to take everything. Alright, I suppose we'll go for it. There's going to be 1 weed remaining. And obviously, the lady as well. Okay, but now we're getting close to the point where we're okay with going after her. So there's not too much left here. This will hit the lady, and therefore she probably will teleport, so I think we just hit her once. Let her do her thing. Hold on. She does appear to have created a clone of sorts. A young lady 2.0 ghost, it seems. This weed is still standing? Which surprises me. I don't remember if we can actually take out the young lady ghosts. If that works or not. Okay. Well, you're by yourself at the moment, it seems. Once again, I think the plan is largely to try to... Ooh, there is still Lady Ghost over there. Trying to deal as much damage per hit as possible. I think that is still the way to do it. And then if we're going to hit you, I think we're probably going to create additional Young Lady Ghosts. But we might as well try to get rid of this one while we're at it.
Still kicking, huh?
Oh, wait. Seemingly guessed correctly and would have hit the original young lady. Don't have to use turn per se.
Bring him on.
Remains the case. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Look at him go.
Process upgraded. These little guys now have significantly more attack speed, these bad cells. So everything's getting a little bit tougher. But we have, ooh, would have thought the AoE to hit both of you guys. There we go. And that's probably overkill at that point, but down they go.
Think I know where everyone went.
So the difficulty does continue to increase a bit here, as enemies continue to get upgraded, but we're finding a way to get the job done nonetheless. Anything else in the area, though, that we should be mindful of? A spot down here. Or down here. Silly little thing, but this little platform like this little peninsula of sorts, reminds me a lot of Hades, which is, of course, another game made by Supergiant. In the House of Hades, in the room with the weapons, where there's that little peninsula you can walk out on, and it shows you how many rooms you've completed. Reminds me a lot of that. So we can use the access point to switch up our skills if we feel the need, but I don't think we do.
They left the lights on.
Box office. Looks like it's still open. That's a place we could check out. Alternatively, want to see if that's the side area or the main area. I think that is the side area, so let's check it out before we head elsewhere. Oh, and promo materials. Hold on.
You never missed a show.
And of course, that's us. All the way to the left, that is red.
The terminal. What's the good word?
Okay. Another terminal.
Hey, you made headlines.
Incident at the empty set. Oh, was that us? Sorry. User authenticated. Welcome red. It says in the top right corner as well for confirmation that yes, we are indeed red. Breaking. The popular Gold Walk open-air venue has been evacuated.
Not a word about the Camerata. Trying to keep everyone calm.
So, remember when we were riding our bike into the city, and our talking sword was talking to us about how he was expecting for us to leave town, but then we stayed or drove further into town, and we saw those images of the robot-like enemies that we've encountered thus far, and also a group of people that we don't yet know much about either, but keep both of those groups in mind. So, this is a news brief. At approximately 1:17 a.m. last night, after all scheduled live performances had ended, OVC received several independent reports of suspicious activity at the well-known concert pavilion. Authorities are evaluating reports that at least 2 people were critically injured, potentially including Red, the headlining act. More news as it develops. Okay. This does give us a little more information. So first of all, OVC, in case it wasn't blatantly obvious at this point, does appear to be the prominent news source of Cloudbank. And they say that 2 people were significantly injured, read us, which we lost our voice somehow, so maybe that had something to do with it. And then when we picked up the sword, remember, there was a dead body there that the sword was impaled in. So presumably, that was the second person. But at least 2, they say, so maybe there were more as well that we just didn't see in the immediate vicinity. You can leave a comment, though.
Maybe they'll post a correction.
Still here for now, don't worry. Ooh, I don't know, do we let them know that we're doing okay? I suppose we do. Available parking, 96% on the Amphitheater Parkway. Part of me is concerned what the 4% that is not available is amounting to here. What's occupying that?
Yeah, let's keep looking.
Any ambushes here? Sometimes when we go in to check out the bonus stuffs, we find additional enemies are popping in, but maybe not this time. Is that where we came in from? Might have been. But it looks like we were the main act, apparently, and we may be approaching the main stage.
Let's have a look downstairs.
It's the empty set. Okay, once again, another access point. We can save, is another thing. I think it does save every time we come across one of these. I don't remember if we have to actually actively activate it in order for that to happen. But we do now have enough abilities here that if we wanted to, we could switch some things around. Oh, and we may have learned more about this guy here, because when we first looked at this, we did not have the additional information about Wave Tennigan. Mr. Wave Tennigan traded the quiet life for a sanctuary vicar to become one of Cloudbank's biggest alternative broadcast personalities for his distinct blend of good-natured mannerisms and incisive social commentary. Straddling the generational boundary between the old guard and the new, Mr. Tennigan offered a canny perspective on the many factors influencing the city's evolution. But during one of his many meet-and-greet events with his listeners, he met a group of individuals who would forever change the course of his life. Whoa, that's dramatic sounding. All right, on we go to the empty set.
Gotta be a leader somewhere.
Okay, there's another terminal over here. Times mentioned 3. We're in the news, it seems. Next month's show. Okay. It's down to the final round for next month's headliner at the #1 venue in Cloudbank. We just read previously that we were the headliner, so I suppose perhaps we already know that we are going to win this poll. Well, let's see.
Facsimile's finally gonna catch a break.
It's the Sensational Red versus Downtown's hottest act, Facsimile. Who will it be? You decide. Do we pick us, or do we pick this Facsimile person? I guess we pick us?
Yeah, if only.
Yeah. It's gonna be us.
Let's get back to it.
Okay. Over here. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. This walkway, this runway, if you will. Seating as well. All
when
leading.
I first saw you up on that stage back there, it was like everyone loved you.
To the empty set.
Everyone except for them.
Except for who? We can hold to hum, which adds just another layer of additional things that you can do to add to the ambiance. Last night. Okay, clearly a lot of very significant things happened last night.
When you speak, I hear silence. Every word a defiance. I can hear, oh, I can hear
Whoa. Okay.
Where are you?
Little bit of a flashback.
Gone. Please don't be gone. I can't.
Listen closely.
I'm over here. I'm over here. I'm still here. Look, if she's hurt. If she's hurt, I'll what? I'll what? I'll nothing. I'm stuck. I'm stuck inside. Am I inside that thing? Inside it. What is all this? There's nothing. Nothing. No. Wait. I'm okay. I think. I'm okay. I'm still here. So it could be worse. It could be worse. But where is she? Where is she? Where is she? Where is she? Where are you? Right there. You were right there. You and me both. We just... Come on. Just where'd you go? Where did you go? Damn it.
Did you catch all that? Because it was quiet, but there was actually a whole lot of very, very insightful information from that quiet little monologue we could hear. The same voice you might have recognized from the sword, saying something about how, "Oh, where is she? We were here together." Thought that he was stuck, but somehow he's okay. So a whole lot more questions, perhaps some answers, but even more questions once again, keeping us on our toes. We are still red, and this time we're in our full performance attire, it seems. We have another terminal, which we can check out. Imagine a bridge to Fairview. This petition would link the luxurious island of Fairview to Goldwalk Bay. And for the first time thus far when we've been activating one of these OVC terminals, it seems as though we do not hear the voice from the sword speaking to us. Accessible only by air or sea, Cloudbank's most secluded and beautiful getaway deserves to be seen by all. With sufficient support, this petition would create a walking bridge to connect the northwest corner of the city to Fairview Island. Fairview would be just a relaxing seaside stroll away. Additional traffic by foot and small motor vehicles expected to have a negligible impact on local commerce. Okay. We can choose to sign or sign out. I suppose we'll sign the petition. An additional 65,000 plus signatures are required. So I'm afraid that one may not be happening. Okay. Let's see, we are significantly slower in our long dress and heels, perhaps. But this place, this may look familiar.
Hey. That you? Oh. Look at you. You're alive. Me, I'm not so sure. Could use your help. I know this looks bad.
Because that
Just take your time.
is the Transistor. The speaking sword that has impaled this person that we saw at the very beginning of the game and said something along the lines of, "Looks like we're not getting out of this one, huh?" And, well...
Hey, say something already. Say something, will you? Oh no. She's here. Look who it is.
Royce S. Processed 98%. Disposition meticulous. And, ladies and gentlemen, I give you my favorite part of the entire game.
Hello again, Sybil. You. Lost your damn mind.
Are the first boss fight in the game, and the most atmospheric boss fight I have ever encountered in any game. I love this boss fight. Might be my single favorite boss fight across the board in any game. Totally amazing. Love it. You'll see why in just a minute. In truth, it can be described in one word, and you may be able to guess what that word is. So here is Sybil, 600 HP. She is a rather daunting figure here. Looks a little bit like the young lady encounters that we had previously, at least visually, but she's hit us once. Let's see if we can sneak behind her. Deal some damage. And this is also my favorite song in the game on the soundtrack, and that does certainly play a role as well. Well, that was 2 sparks, hold on. That's also spark. There we go, that's what we're looking for. Listen very closely.
Go for it.
To the lyrics of the song, to the sounds coming from this enemy that we are encountering right now, Sybil.
Circle the drain. Never be sorry for your little time. It's not it's always a climb.
She charges after us, which is pretty scary. But we'll dash behind her. And she's on low HP here. So theoretically, actually, let's go you, and you, and get a whole bunch of damage on her, which theoretically would be enough to overkill. When she's on 0 HP,
She's back.
I'm afraid she's back. And now she has some friends. Once again, 800 HP. But I think we want to get rid of these weeds. Oh, that's not the direction we want to be going in. Can we hit multiple weeds simultaneously? We might be able to hit a weed and hit her. We go with our ranged ability here. It looks like we're getting them both. That's not where we want to be dashing, though. That is not really either. That's a little more like it. No, not that. This. Probably gonna take all we have remaining. Let's go for it, though. We want to make sure that we grab these. They don't come back. And we are back into turn mode. And, oh, there's one over here that I did not even realize we got. I'll tell you what, I'll just dash over here real quick. And then, dash here. Hit a couple of weeds. Dash here. Hit another weed. And then, that's gonna take everything we have.
Just you and her now.
Just the 2 of us.
Back in business.
It's hard to make out what she's saying, but she is speaking words that are just very muddled, very processed. Are we technically behind her now? I think we may be. So we're going for the backstab damage. With all of our skills here. Try to maximize the combo damage as well. Okay. Let's see. Dash behind her once again. And this, perhaps more than any other encounter, I think the difference in the music between when you're actively in real-time mode versus when you're in turn mode feels just that much more impactful. Okay, now theoretically, this is enough to get the overkill damage to take her out.
Almost got her. Sybil.
She's not done yet, though. And this is where it just hits you like a truck. Oh my god. This is my actual favorite song from the soundtrack. The corrupted version, N circles, if you will. Amazing. Amazing. Alright, so what do we have now? We have some creeps that are hanging out in these blocks that are either gonna break out by themselves or we're gonna want to break them out before they try to ambush us. There is a cheerleader or two, and those will give shields. At the moment, I think one is giving a shield to Sybil, which obviously we're gonna want to stop. So why don't we prioritize that? Or, tell you what, do we even need that? We might be able to just hit you both right off the bat. And, no, we're not gonna get the combo damage per se, but if that's enough to take out the cheerleader, then that may still be worth it. That might be way more damage than we needed. That was definitely way more damage than we needed. Okay, hi Sybil. And at least the first time I did this encounter, it was very, very difficult, and so that just added to the intensity, added to the ambiance. That was the word that I was gonna say. It describes this more than anything else. Just the ambiance of this boss fight. The atmosphere is amazing. Okay, so we are getting hit pretty hard by Sybil here if we hang out, I think, along with this creep. So what is over here? We have a cheerleader who is currently shielding Sybil, so we'd like to get rid of that. Oh, the processed voice comes in. Okay, so can we hit this cheerleader and hard to see where exactly the jerk is, or rather the creep. Hold on. Just do this for scouting purposes. Try to go a little bit further to the left if possible. Still just a little bit short. In fact, tell you what, if we're being really particular, we go right here. That might make it a little bit easier. Trying to hit the oh, you're not dead yet. Just trying to hit this creep as well. Okay, Sybil is still in the bottom area. We probably want to keep it that way. Creep is over here. Hit you. We aim a little more this way. Perhaps we can. Ah, the range is just slightly short. Okay. Oh, that was supposed to be a jump. Huh? We move him for the backstab, or we just try to get you from range and whittle you down, because it's definitely not going to be enough to kill you. Not from here. Is all the juice we have remaining if we go for that. Maybe it is worth it. We're only going to get one hit in. Might as well make that one hit count by making it a backstab. Or maybe even, can we squeeze in a little guy here? No, not you. You? Any? No. Okay, it's just one skill. Might as well make it the strongest one. Let's do it. Cheerleader down. Creep will be damaged, but not destroyed. Oh, there's another creep. I did not see that. Okay, well, we actually had damaged this already, so that's a good sign. Apparently, we had known it was there before. Get 2 for 1, not quite from this angle. Might be able to get a better jaunt in then. Still no. Hold on. Let's jaunt again. Okay. That is enough to take them both out. I think we settle for that. Goodbye, Sybil! Oh, look at that damage! Look at that damage! It's huge! huge damage. Also, look at Sybil's HP number, 1,200 is, what was she on before? Was she 600 previously? Obviously, it's well over what she had before. So, this is why it is so difficult, is because there's numerous phases to this encounter, and, well, the first one or two may not have seemed all that bad, especially once you get here, to this phase right now, with the additional enemies that deal damage pretty quickly, and the supporting enemies that can give shields, making it harder for you to take out the ones that are dealing the damage to you. It's not quite so straightforward. So, might have let my guard down a little bit, assuming we were going to get off easy here, but I don't think that's going to be the case. It's going to be tricky. The other thing is that Sybil is lightning fast, and she... Very good. With changing the direction of her abilities, if you hesitate for a second, you stand still for a second, she will track you down. And at this point, one hit might be enough to take us out. One hit might be enough to take us out. How's it going, Arumi? We are in, as I was just saying, what might be my single favorite boss fight in all of gaming. In large part because this song just fits so perfectly with the atmosphere. But it's a tough one. It's a tough one. We'll try to get our backstab damage in here. Are all those hitting? Did we jaunt too far? We might have jaunted too far, to tell you the truth. We're definitely going to jaunt too far if we do that. So what if we just go, well, aiming in the general direction of our enemy would probably help as well. Ooh, I did not think that was our last ability for some reason. Out of here! Get out of here! Ooh! Emergency turn initiated, so when we are on a sliver of HP, this will happen. Yeah, it's my favorite song on the soundtrack, and this is my favorite soundtrack of all Supergiant soundtracks, so that's saying something coming from me. But we are on a sliver of HP, and so that means we are basically running out of time here to get the job done. This might be our last chance to take out Sybil. So we'll have to see if we can make it happen here. It's not quite enough damage. We sneak in another one of those. It's still going to come up slightly short. I think we go, hold on, rather than a crash, we go with another spark is a little more, and it does give us combo. Hold on. Can we be smarter about the order in which we do these things? Like that, maybe? And with one more, theoretically, if we hit all of these, Sybil may be defeated. We're about to find out. Oh, we missed! We missed one of them! Oh. I was like, spam that turn button. Spam that turn button. Oh, man. We did manage to sneak one more in while we're still on this sliver of HP. We missed on one of those abilities because oftentimes what happens, as we've seen on some prior occasions, when you hit enemies, they get knocked back a little bit. And so if you're requiring some very precise aiming, then sometimes the second, third, or fourth ability may not hit anymore. I think Breach in particular is sensitive to the aiming. Should be enough.
She's finished. What now? Can't leave her like this.
That is all that's left of Sybil. Crying. It certainly sounds like. And she was a person once upon a time, but certainly doesn't look like it anymore, and can't leave her like this, at least according to our talking sword. And so, Finally, she says. I couldn't make out that last part, but again, if you listen very carefully, the things that Sybil says throughout the entirety of that encounter, very significant, and just further adds to the layers of complexity, the layers of intrigue to this whole encounter. And that is why it is my favorite boss fight, and certainly my favorite part of the entire Transistor game. Huge fan of that encounter. So many things that they did so well.
Hello again, Sybil. Your camarada friends. I want you to tell us where they are. Do you understand?
Process terminated. Sybil. Hello again,
Sybil's
Sybil.
trace.
What is Sybil's function, you ask? Help. Function. Transformative, auspicious. Active slot effect. Call a friend to aid the user. Plan friend's actions with turn. That's in the active slot. Or alternatively, as an upgrade, give most functions a chance to prevent cells from spawning. Those are the little, sort of like circular or spherical objects that tend to spawn whenever we destroy an enemy, and if we don't collect them after a short timer, then the enemies will respawn. So we can potentially make life a little bit easier for ourselves if we were to use this as an upgrade to prevent enemies from generating those cells. Or we could call a friend, which we don't seem to have much of at the moment. New function, help. And so the other thing, which maybe you've been able to make some sense out of thus far, but in case it wasn't obvious, the functions do have some significance with regard to the person that they are tied to, because remember, we are absorbing people into our electronic sword, and in doing so, they are taking on the form of this function. So, access granted new permission because we did reach level 4, which means we can either, let's see, well, permission, enter back doors, that's new, not entirely sure what that's all about, or release notes, reveals hidden back doors throughout Cloud Bank. Okay. New permission, authenticator.
We got our lead. We're going downtown. The process will be waiting for us.
And there she is. What's left of her, at least. And one of the most interesting characters in the entire game, I would argue. There's a surface level to Sybil, and then there is a very, very deep level to some things that take a lot of uncovering to discover, but can make her, with a little bit of theorizing, a little bit of a lot of piecing things together, to be honest, makes her one of, if not, I won't say the most interesting character, because, of course, there's the main character, Red, but let's see what else, anything we can find in the area. Processed crime scene, come closer to witness.
Sybil, after our run-in, I don't think she ever left.
After our run-in, so we saw a bit of a flashback in which our sword friend, who, for ease of conversation, let's call him the Boxer. He was seemingly there the night of a big performance that we were having, and something terrible happens. It looks like he got attacked. We might have gotten attacked as well. We saw he got
Let's check the dock.
impaled by a sword. We appear to have somehow lost our voice in the process as well. And then we've heard about the process and the camarada. But we don't yet have all the pieces.